Okay, so this is how to caption a Twitter video without using a weird third-party site. It's like a screencast. All of this is listed in this Google Doc, which I will post a link to. So don't worry about reading along or anything. So I'm just going to move this over to my other monitor so I can see it. Here's my Twitter video that I want to add a caption to. It's Jacques and Julia. It actually has captions, but they're not great because it doesn't really pick up Jacques' accent. So I'm going to add real captions as like an example of how to do captions without having to use Capwing or Twitter downloaders or like any of that. This is all command line stuff. And also like Windows apps, it's not entirely command line. Anyways, stuff that you need to get started. There's a command line tool called YouTube Download. There's a set of, I don't know, I guess audio software called Audacity. The subtitle stuff I'm using is called Visual Subsync. And then I use VLC to create the final video. And then this may not be necessary for you, I don't know. I use FFmpeg and Matroska Splitter for handling video formats and codecs and like making sure that everything works out right. So step one, find your video on Twitter. I posted this earlier today. It's just a clip of Julia and Jacques reading limericks that I wrote at each other, and it's really adorable. And the auto-generated subtitles don't work very well. So first thing to do, copy this. Copy the Twitter URL. You can also copy the video address, but you don't have to. Download all of the software listed. It's all in the doc. There's links to download everything. Next step, download the video. So in order to do that, you need to launch your command line, cmd, and then you need to go to the folder where you downloaded YouTube dl.exe if you're using Windows. I've already done this, but let's walk through what it would look like. So if there was in a downloads thing, I would move YouTube dl.exe into this folder that I'm using. It's called Captions, just lives on my desktop. You can ignore these, they're not important. Let's just pretend those don't exist. So right now I have this folder called Captions. The only thing in it is YouTube dl.exe. So I can copy this, and then I'm going to cd to that directory. So now I'm here. If I say dir, it shows me what's in here, and it's just YouTube dl.exe. Great, perfect. The next thing you want to do is you want to run it. You're going to say YouTube dl.exe, and then you're going to download the video. So I use one flag here is lowercase f, dash lowercase f, and then the word best. That just tells it to download it in the best format. And I'm going to paste, I lost my link, so copy this again. I'm going to paste this. Cool. So now it's going to run. It's going to load all of this, and then it's downloaded my video in the same directory. So if I say dir again, there it is. My Twitter username is all cats are beautiful. So this is the video. It's an MP4, which is great. That's exactly what I need. Okay, so that's step 3, download the video. The next step is you have to extract what's called a WAV file. I think that stands for Windows Audio something. I don't actually know what it stands for. But it's just a sound file. And you need it in order to do the subtitles, because that's what the Visual Subsync subtitle program uses. So I'm just going to go to Audacity, because we're extracting a WAV file. So we're here. This is Audacity. It's just like an app. We are going to open the video we just downloaded. Cool. And then we are going to say export as WAV. And it just is going to do that. It's going to save it in the same folder. That's perfect. And that's everything we needed Audacity for, so we're going to quit. No, we don't need to save the project. We haven't done anything. Okay, so let's check that again. Okay, yeah, no, we've got a WAV file and we've got an MP4, which is perfect. The next thing we do is create subtitles. So we're going to open up Visual Subsync. Obviously, if you haven't used this before, you would want to download it and install it. It goes pretty easily. And we're going to create a new project. The video source file is this, and then the WAV file is the WAV file we just extracted. it says leave empty for extraction, but I've never gotten that to work very accurately. It always cuts off like 10 seconds in. So I use Audacity to extract it. And then that's it. We create a new file. This is where the subtitles are going to go if you want a different subtitle format like AS. I don't know what AS is. I always use SRT. So we're going to create this new project. And look at this. We have our cool waveform from the WAV file that we extracted. And we are ready to start subtitling. Sorry, I have to sneeze. I didn't have to sneeze. It was a weird have to sneeze, but didn't have to sneeze. Anyways, now we are in sort of the meat of the operation. We're going to select a chunk of sound. Usually it's pretty obvious when people are talking versus when they are not talking, so I'm going to grab this chunk of what looks like somebody is talking. I'm going to press F1 to play it once.
Julia, I have a limerick for you.
That sounds like a good chunk of text. I'm going to crop it a little bit more.
Julia, I have a limerick for you.
Okay, cool. That's great. Add subtitle. We're going to say Jacques is talking. Jacques, Pepin, Julia, I have a riddle for you. We're going to listen to it one more time, make sure.
Julia, I have a limerick for you.
Oh, it's a limerick, not a riddle. My bad. That's why we double check. So, it seems like this is the next chunk of text. Let's listen to it.
God, I love limericks.
Great, she loves limericks. Add subtitle. We're going to say Julia Child. And after this, we're going to, stop using their full names, but I feel like that's useful for just context of who these people are. I forgot what she said, so I'm going to listen to it again.
God, I love limericks.
Good, I love limericks. Cool. Next chunk. This is somewhat long.
There once was a woman named Child.
Actually, no, that's perfect. That's just about what I want. So add subtitle. CQES. There once was a woman named Child. Okay, and then there's kind of a dramatic pause.
Who made sausages?
I think we want the whole line.
Who made sausages spicy?
And mild. I guess we're going to about
Who made
there.
sausages spicy and mild?
Every time I'm playing it once, I'm pressing F1. There are some other keys. If you want to loop it, F2.
Who made sausages spicy and mild?
This
Who
is
made
going to be really
sausages
funny because
spicy
Jacques
and
is just going to
mild?
keep
Who
talking.
made sausages
To stop
spicy
this, press
and
the
mild?
escape key. Thanks, Jacques. So we're going to add a subtitle here. Who made sausages spicy and mild. Actually, maybe we're not going to do a capital letter here. We're going to go lowercase. Cool. There's that. What's this little bit of noise? It's probably... Oh, it's just a mouth noise. We don't have to caption that. That's gross. I hate mouth noises. I don't know about you.
Those tubular treats?
Those tubular treats. This is one of the ones where the auto captions just completely mess up his accent. It's very important that it's tubular treats, and I think it captions it as charcuterie or something, and it's just not accurate at all. Those tubular treats. Right?
Those tubular treats?
I love Jacques' accent.
Stuffed with mystery meat?
Oh, stuffed with mystery meat. Okay, this is probably the last line.
Made her friend and relation go wild.
Perfect. So, that's all of Jacques. Made her friends and relations go wild. Cool. So that's that chunk. Let's select this next one.
That's a wonderful one.
That sounds like Julia.
That's a wonderful one. That's a wonderful one.
I think she's saying pun here. But I don't know. Let's listen to it one more time. It's either pun or one.
That's a wonderful one.
I might actually have to check the video to see what she's saying.
Those tubular treats, stuffed with mystery meat, made her friend and relation go wild.
That's a wonderful. Oddly enough,
That
I have
wasn't
one
actually
for you,
helpful.
Jack.
Okay, well, we're just gonna go with that's a wonderful one. A wonderful pun? Unclear. What are we gonna go with? Julia. So Julia's talking now. Julia. That's a wonderful. Can spell. Wonderful one. Okay, what does she say next?
Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jack.
I feel like I want to start this one.
Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jack.
Oh, good.
Okay, so
Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jack.
so that Jacques starts talking there. So let's go, Julia. Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jacques.
Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jack.
Okay. We might want to merge these two.
Oh, good.
Depending on how close they are. Okay, here's this. I think this is mostly just blank space. We can listen to it once, but
There once was a young man from Lyon.
okay. Gonna add that one. There once was is it young man or just man?
There once was a young man from Lyon.
I think if I remember, Julia's doesn't track quite as well. Just because, you know, she breaks all the rules. It's fine. Let's start there. What's this?
Whose knife work was exceedingly.
Okay, she's gonna say bon. So let's go to there, maybe.
Whose knife work was exceedingly bon.
Okay, maybe we skip Jacques giggling.
Whose knife work was exceedingly bon.
I feel like that extra laugh is not super important. Because if you're watching this, you can see that they're laughing with each other. So whose knife work was exceedingly bon. I would love to italicize that. I don't think I can. Let me see real quick. I don't see how to italicize that. That's fine. I think this is just Jacques laughing and Julia taking her in-breath.
His charcuterie was something to see.
Oh, that's important. His charcuterie. His charcuterie. I think that's how you spell. I'm gonna double check really fast. Yes. Charcuterie. Okay, cool. What was
His charcuterie was something to see.
something to see? I feel like this is probably the start of a sentence. Let's go ahead and be consistent. Those tubular treats stuffed with mystery meat made her friends and relations go wild. Okay. Charcuterie was something to see. And then the end of it
The
is...
sausages weren't bad either.
and his sausages weren't bad either. Great. His sausages weren't bad either. Cool. So I think that's the whole thing. We can go ahead and listen to it from the beginning. Sometimes it's a little weird about that.
Julia, I have a limerick for you.
God, I love limericks.
There once was a woman named Child who made sausages spicy and mild.
Right now, I'm
Those
just looking
tubular
for...
treats, stuffed with mystery meat, made
Is
her
it-
friend and relation go wild.
scan
wonderful-
along with the text.
Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jack.
Oh, good.
There once was a young man from Lyon whose knife work was exceedingly bon. His charcuterie was something to see, and his sausages weren't bad either.
Okay, great. That looked good. Like I'm not seeing it with the video yet, so it's a little bit hard to say like if it's perfect. But we're gonna do that next. So let's just save this. I think we are done with VSS for now. because we've got all the subtitles, and when you save that, it generates, if we go back to this folder, generates this SRT file, which is just a text file. If we open this up with like code or something, we'll see that it's just timestamps, thank you, release notes, timestamps, and the text, and I guess an index number, but that's not important. So next thing to do is we're going to open up VLC, but this is a complicated part. Normally I would just double click this to open it up, and if I want to like test the subtitles out, that's fine. I think that's what I will do.
I have a
Yeah.
limerick for you.
So it's
God, I love
automatically doing
limerick.
these subtitles.
There once was a
This is just like a
woman named
preview.
Child who made sausages spicy and mild. Those tubular treats, stuffed with mystery meat, made her friend
I
and
love these
relation
too.
go wild.
That's a wonderful.
I might add some
Oddly
punctuation there.
enough, I have one for you, Jack.
Oh, good.
There once was a young man from Lyon whose knife work was exceedingly bon. His charcuterie was something to see, and his sausages weren't bad either.
Okay, that seemed okay. I might. Oh, no, actually I think I have to reload VSS in order to fix things. Okay, so this one I wanted to add a period there, and then there was a part where Jacques was laughing that I wanted to capture, because I feel like that's important. This is still Julia. Oh good. I think this is where the laugh was. No, that's not where the laugh was. Is this it? I think now I have...
Whose knife work was exceedingly bon.
Okay. So we can add a line break. So Jacques laughs. And that way, like, we'll see it happen on screen, and it's not like, what are they saying right now? So yeah, we'll save that again. And then we'll go back here. I'll make sure that...
And go wild.
Okay.
That's a wonderful. Oddly enough, I have one for you, Jack.
Oh, good.
There once was a young man from Lyon whose knife work was exceedingly bon. His charcuterie was something to see, and his sausages weren't bad either.
Okay, that looks good. So the next thing we're going to do, let me go back to my document and make sure we haven't skipped any sections. Sick. We're on step 6, create final video. So the thing you want to do next is open up VLC without any media. I have it pinned to my taskbar, but you can also just go VLC. If you've never used it before, this would be a good time to install it. Like, I don't know who doesn't have VLC, but I'm sure somebody out there is like that. So you just want to launch it from the start menu. You're going to open the preferences menu. You can do that by doing Tools, Preferences, Control P. You can also right click here and go to Tools. Like, it's all over the place. You go to Preferences, you go to Subtitles. You want to make sure on-screen display is turned off, because that just displays messages that aren't the subtitles, like the media title of the video, and like I don't really want that. But you do want to enable subtitles to be done. I think everything else is okay, but you do also want to add shadow and you want to add background. The reason you want to add background is for readability, and I think there's a technical difference between subtitles and closed captions, where closed captions don't have the background and subtitles do. I don't think it matters a ton here. If you really don't want a background, you don't have to have a background. I'm doing this for accessibility, so I do want a background. Okay, so our preferences are set up. The next thing to do is media and then stream. So we are going to add our video. We're going to add our subtitles. Those are the only two things in the folder, so it works out really well for me because this is an example. You probably have more things in your folder, you have to find them, but you want the MP4 without subtitles, and then you also want the subtitle file that you just created. So you're going to hit stream. On this page, we already have set up the source. That's great. Now we're going to set up the destination, and so we want it to be a file. We want to create a new MP4 file in the same directory. We're just going to call it Jacques and Julia with captions or something. Julia captioned. Cool. So that's our destination file. it doesn't exist yet. It will in a second. We hit next. Transcoding you want, and then you want to click on this wrench to make sure that subtitles are turned on and also overlaid. I don't think it matters which codec you use. I haven't seen a difference between, like if I turn this off and I change it, it seems to work the same. So if you know what that is, then I guess tell me so that I know what that is. Okay, so subtitles are going to happen. We're going to hit next. We don't need to stream all the elementary streams. I don't know what that means. This is just like a list of options that it's going to use to run blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. And then we're going to hit stream. And you can see along the bottom, it was really fast because this is like a 30-second video. It ran through the file. It didn't play it. And the last thing, this is very, very important, you want to quit using the menu, because if you don't quit using the menu, sometimes it doesn't close out the file right, and you get a problem where you can't run the video, which sucks. So, but I should have a video that has captions now. If I click it, I open it.
Yeah, I have a limerick for you.
Voila! Captions.
There
Here,
once was a
and this.
woman named Child.
And so if there's
who
anything
made
here that you want to
sausages
go back and fix,
spicy
like
and mild.
if
Those
the WAV
tubular
file
treats
is, cutting
stuffed
off
with mystery
weirdly,
meat
or
made her
if
friend
the
and
subtitles are
relation
wrong,
go
you just,
wild.
you go
That's
back
a
into the other
wonderful-
apps you were using,
Oddly
and edit them
enough, I
and
have
restream
one for
it,
you, Jack.
because
There once was a young man
none of the
from
changes get
Lyon
saved until
whose knife work
this
was exceedingly
particular step where you
bon.
stream it via VLC.
His charcuterie was something to see, and the sausages weren't bad either.
Alright, that's it. We made a captioned video, so the thing we can do next, I guess, is we can go back and we say, and it captions, and now with captions. It doesn't matter because like this is just a thing I posted this morning. Nobody is paying attention to it, but like if you're responding to a video that somebody else posted, it's helpful to be like, here are captions for folks who are deaf or hard of hearing, or like who just like reading subtitles. I personally like reading subtitles, so the last thing I do is I always click play
Yeah,
and
I have
make
a
sure
limerick for you.
it looks
Oh,
right,
lovely limerick.
because sometimes like the sound doesn't work or it's very confusing, but that's it. And I'm going to tweet, it's going to load, and crossing my fingers that Twitter doesn't get mad at it. And now we have it. We have this wonderful video with hard-coded captions, and that's it. That's everything. Feel free to bug me with questions if you need it, but I hope that was helpful. Bye.